Namaste. This is Suraj Pai, and today I'm going to talk about the Anglicization of Indian education. We all know that this feat was mostly accomplished by Thomas Bobbington Macaulay, and it was done with the help of William Bentinck, who was his friend. However, there are many people who are trying to do this ever since the British had full political control over India. This includes one of India's most famous social reformers, Raja Ram Mohan Roy. He wanted India to have Western education system under the English language. He, in fact, wrote a letter 12 years earlier than Macaulay's minutes in the parliament. He wrote this letter to Lord Amherst, who was the then Governor General of India, or the Governor General of East Indian Company. He wrote 4 points in that letter. The first point was his dissent against the government's decision to open a Sanskrit college in Kolkata. He states the reasons in the other 2 points, and a conclusion, which is basically a reiteration of the second point, is the last point. He writes that the Western that the need of the hour of India was a Western education system with Europeans teaching Western sciences, natural philosophy, and other such sciences in the English language. Well, to be honest, I don't have any problem against the Western sciences. I personally feel that it's good if two cultures which are advanced scientifically exchange their sciences, as in if India gives its scientific knowledge to the West and the West gives its scientific knowledge to India. However, what I find incorrect is him advocating for the the medium of language to be used in English and not in Sanskrit. This is a problem because we can pretty much do the same thing teaching Western sciences using Sanskrit. We don't have to always use English. If you want, you can take the case of China. In China, after the Opium Wars, they were forced to have contact with the West. At that time, a lot of Western science came into China. Nobody there advocated for the use of any European language, let alone English, to be the medium of teaching these Western sciences. Instead, they translated these major works into Chinese, into classical Chinese, and later into standard Mandarin. And then later this was taught to the Chinese people, and as of now, they are considered to be paramount on science, technology, and maths, better than India. Then we come to the third and most important point. His criticism against the Sanskrit based education system in India. He criticizes the Sanskrit based education system openly in this letter. He states that Sanskrit has only some grammatical niceties and a metaphysical vocabulary, which makes things hard to learn, and that it's not relevant in today's life. Well, to be honest, the Sanskrit grammar is so much used in modern Indian language grammar as well. In fact, you can see the similarities between Sanskrit based languages and Sanskrit itself. They have the same grammatical structure. As in, nouns are still divided into three classes: Sanya, Kriya, and Avyaya. Then you still have sandhis and samasas in Sanskrit based languages, and adjectives are considered to be a kind of nouns, while adverbs are considered to be an avyaya. Even in orthography, the Sanskrit structure of having the swaras first and then the vyanjanas, with the vyanjanas being ordered into vargiya and avargiya vyanjanas being common. Thus, it is pretty much relevant in today's world, Sanskrit grammar, at least for the Indians. And the metaphysical vocabulary. It is important in both the philosophical discourse and in our daily lives. Such as we hear people talking about dharma, karma, on good deeds, on good action, and devotion, bhakti, yoga. All of this, I don't have to explain it again. In fact, there are many YouTube channels which I believe can explain Sanskrit metaphysical terms better than me. But they are pretty much relevant in today's life. Just for the example of karma, the whatever is taught in the Bhagavad Gita, karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala heturbhur mate sangostva karmani, which basically means do any action you want, or rather do whatever action you have to do, but don't think of its results, as in the results are not in your favor, are not in your authority. It's in the Lord's authority. But just because the results are in the Lord's authority, we don't have to abandon that work, which is pretty much common in today's life, where people do work only based on the results. Then Raja Ram Mohan Roy makes an audacious claim by stating that Sanskrit does not have any sciences in it. It is obvious that he is omitting a lot of books such as Aryabhatta's Aryabhatiya, the Bhaskaracharya's Leelavati, and the works of Charaka, Sushruta, and other prominent Indian scientists. He thus reiterates the fact that due to the fact that Sanskrit is unscientific, according to him, and has things that are impractical in today's life, which has little to no relevance, he states that English should replace Sanskrit as the method of education, which I believe was a pretty wrong thing to do. Well, actually, he had done other wrong things. In fact, he had, whatever people tell that sati was an inherent social error, social bad thing to do in Hindu culture and all. Well, again, to be honest, he did not do anything to ban sati. That was again a plan of the Britishers, but I won't delve into it now as it falls out of the premise of today's video. On stating this fact, I would like to conclude with one statement. After listening to today's video, I want all of you guys to just rethink the fact whether Raja Ram Mohan Roy was really a social reformer, or was he just towards the British in everything. I just want you to rethink this fact as as what I feel is that the people who publish textbooks, or the people who write our history textbooks, have inherently made a mistake by calling Raja Ram Mohan Roy as a social reformer. I'd just like you to rethink these facts, and till then, I will leave and wish you guys a healthy life. Thank you.